Before you started this program, what was the main struggle that you were having on the field?
Confidence.
Confidence? Okay. What was causing you to have a lack of confidence?
I don't know, really. I was just not confident at all.
Now, why do you think that was? Was it because you didn't know necessarily what to do? You didn't know how to do different things? Like you just didn't feel like you were capable?
I knew what to do, but I just thought I wasn't good enough to
Okay.
do it.
Has this program helped you figure those things out?
Yeah,
Okay. How so?
the right footwork, the right techniques.
Were you feeling like stressed internally over like your lack of confidence? Like was that wearing on you as you would play, as you'd be catching in a game?
Yeah,
So like what sort of emotions would you go through like because of that stress? Would you like put a lot of weight on your shoulders and it would just cause like severe anxiety, like you were afraid to make mistakes, or is it like you just didn't know what you were doing and you were trying your best to make it work?
I'd like put a lot of pressure on myself.
Okay. So now that you've gone through this for the last 4 weeks, like do you feel more relaxed and capable and confident in what you're doing?
Yeah, I feel more confident because I know what to do.
Right. That's awesome. Okay. So the next thing I want to get into, how did you like come about finding me? Like through social media, through a specific post, just like out of curiosity, like did you take a plunge? Like how exactly did you find my business page?
I was just in class scrolling through Instagram on Reels, and I just came upon one of your videos and messaged you.
Okay, sweet. I like that you came across my reel, but I don't like that you did it in class considering I'm a teacher. So, on that same note, like how long between like that initial connection that you had, how long before you joined and like started the program? So from that first message that you sent, like just random message to like your start date, how long do you think that that took?
A day.
A day. Okay, so it progressed really quickly. And what led to you like wanting to do it? Like was it the things I was posting? Is it just like the connection that you had with me through like DMs or like how did you just come to want to do it that quickly?
Because I really wanted to get better at being a catcher. I didn't like how I didn't like how I was playing right now, so I wanted to get better.
Okay. Do you feel like you accomplished that?
Yeah,
Has it translated into your games that you've played since we've been working together?
yeah,
At the end of the day, do you feel like you're willing to take the risks in situations in the past where you would have been very reluctant to do so previously?
yeah.
In
I
what senses? Like give me an example.
like doing more back picks, not being afraid to being more aggressive behind the plate.
That's really important to hear, honestly, because like I've said to you in the past, like if you feel reluctant or like you think you're going to make a mistake, chances are you're going to make that mistake, right? So now let's get into like the doubt behind remote training because like me as somebody who dove into this as a coach, if I were an athlete, it's something that I would have been really reluctant to do just based on the lack of hands-on time, right? So I'm in New York, you're in Texas. We're very, very far apart. What was your biggest doubt heading into this program before you joined?
Honestly, I don't think I had any doubts.
So did you think like it could just be a gigantic waste of time, like you wouldn't get anything out of it, or were you just like, all right, I need to find a solution and I'm just going to try this and see if it works?
I just thought if I wasn't gonna if I didn't put in the work, I wouldn't get anything out of it. So my main doubt was not trying hard enough.
Okay. So you had to hold yourself more accountable because of this, right? You had a series of different drills that you had to do, and then you had to send in the feedback, wait for the feedback, and then implement that into your training, right?
Yeah.
So that was all the before stuff. Now we're going to get into the during the program portion of this. So while you were going through the program, what did we implement when we first started working together? What was the biggest change that you saw earliest while going through this program? Aside from confidence, because that's something that we can't really measure. You know what I mean?
My stance
Okay.
when I go back to that first video, it's crazy because my stance looks way different now,
Right.
and the feet were looks way better.
The footwork, right. And you can go down probably the whole list, right? You can go from your footwork enhancing to your transfer getting more fluid to your arm action getting better, right? And then overall, just that translating into you dropping your pop time by 0.383 seconds, which to me is the biggest decrease in time I have ever seen of any kid I've ever worked with. So I have kids that I work with here in New York that I work with for months, and I'm lucky. if they get a zero point 0.1 decrease in their time. You doing this remotely managed to cut almost 4/10 of a second off your pop time. Like, that's insane to think about. Like, you should be really proud of the effort and the time and just how you were on top of it. You'd shoot me messages, hey, coach, I missed today. Can I do it again tomorrow? Of course, you can always do more, just never do less. That's what I tell people. So, again, you should be super, super proud of the progress that you've made in such a short window, right? To piggyback what I just said, how did that decrease of 0.383 seconds make you feel yesterday when I sent you those videos? Like, how did that impact your confidence?
A lot. Like, ooh. Oh, sorry. What did you say again?
So like that 0.383 seconds, when I sent that to you, you're like, wow, that's a lot, right? So like how
Yeah,
did that impact you as a player and like, from an internal confidence standpoint?
it boosted up my confidence a lot.
Right.
Like it
So
was just how much it decreased.
right, in 4 weeks, right?
Yeah,
So in the course of
it's crazy.
16 days, you took your pop time from a 2.53 to a 2.15. I don't think I could find many kids that could do that, regardless of when they've been playing or what they know. So you like again, I'm going to stress this a million different times. You should be super super proud of the work you've put in. Okay. Now we're going to get to like how you're feeling now. So you said your biggest struggle was confidence. Yes?
Yeah.
What kind of results have you seen in terms of like your confidence being boosted? Like do you feel like you're more driven? Do you feel like you can accomplish more on the field? Do you feel like you have a lot more to accomplish still? How do you feel right now about that after based on your struggles prior?
I feel like I have a lot more to accomplish, but I'm still proud of the work I achieved.
That's awesome. You can be smile and you can be happy for yourself. Like you did, you're kind of downplaying it right now. Like you should truly be ecstatic with what you've just done. All right. So, like I said to you yesterday, when I was a senior in high school, I was throwing a 2.16 pop time. You're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
You just hit a 2.15. I went on to have a pretty decent career. Now, I didn't go on to make millions in the big leagues, but I went on to play college and then a couple years of pro ball too. So now, if you put me on the level where you were at, you're now here where I was here as a senior, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, don't downplay your accomplishments over the last 4 weeks, all right? So, again, you said your biggest stressor was a lack of confidence. How do you feel?
Hmm.
Feel more confident now? When
Yeah.
you get on the field and you're catching. So let's think about the last game you played in. You got on the field, you go to squat behind the plate, you go to make your first throw to second base. What do you feel? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you feeling? Just talk me through that a little bit.
I try not to think too much because if you think too much, you're probably gonna mess up. I just focus on what you said, ball and glove, ball in hand, ball in air.
Bang, love that. That to me, those are the most important things. Get the ball in your glove, out of your glove, and in the air as quickly as you possibly can. And you did that, right? I don't know if you went back and watched that video that I cut together and posted on my story last night. I've watched it probably 50 times just to see the difference from whenever that first video was recorded to yesterday. And like, you look like a catcher. You know what I mean? As a kid who was an infielder and just started catching a little bit over a year ago, as you said, you look like you belong with gear on. So I think that's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? Like before, it was very robotic. All right, catch, then move, then transfer, then throw. Now it's very fluid, right? You had really, really solid results in this. Would you recommend this kind of program to somebody else? And what is the ideal person that you would recommend do this program?
I definitely recommend this program, but like if they're just like not put in the effort, then like there's no point if you're not going to put in the effort.
So, accountability. So, let's think about if you're picking some random catcher, right? If you had to tell them three things that they absolutely had to do to have the success that you had in the last 4 weeks, what would those three things be, Rep?
Be really dedicated to it. Don't don't just like I'm tired today. I'm just gonna like not put in as much effort. Just go through the motion. Um, I'm not sure. Those are the two main things.
So let's find a third thing now. Think about Johnny Ramirez. Johnny Ramirez came to me as a kid who lacked confidence, didn't know what he was doing behind the plate, and had the desire to learn, right? If you were
So
talking to yourself 4 weeks ago, you would tell yourself to put in the work, be dedicated, and what else?
don't be scared to try something new.
Bang. Don't be afraid to fail. And I've said this numerous times, right? You told me 3 weeks ago I airmailed a back pick to first base. Well, guess what? Half of the kids in your shoes wouldn't even try that back pick to first base. And you learn from that mistake, right?
Yeah.
Like my big thing for you is don't think about failure and losses. Think about lessons and learning.